Before we get into this, there will be some spoilers, so in short, if you like filmmaking and enjoy a great narrative, play this game. If you have ever loved independent films, environmental storytelling, or tales that hit you right in the feels, this game is a must play. And there is no execution barrier nor intense puzzle solving, so this is accessible to everyone. This game won't make you feel happy, but it's beautiful and important. With that said, what remains of Edith Finch? No. What remains of Edith Finch? Grammar's important here. You don't want to end up like this guy. But in this context, we're referring to the fact that the game is literally what remains of Edith Finch. The story of a young woman whose family curse is to die in an unfortunate manner. She eventually falls to the curse in some unknown manner before her son is old enough to remember her. So this journal, that is the events of the game, is all that remains of Edith Finch. And this is getting a little confusing, so let me just say this. The creators of this game have a gift. I say this because the level of detail present in this game is dazzling. I've never experienced a game that is so unbelievable yet logical. The stories are outlandish, unrealistic, and even stated to be fake in some cases. But the cohesion between them is one aspect that makes this game special. The stories will reference one another, and the sections where you traverse the house looking for these stories will foreshadow a future tale of misfortune or provide more context for a previous one. Like that Calvin Finch is completely obsessed with space because he just wants to escape the fact that his relative just died, and he wants nothing more than to escape. This foreshadows that he will try to fly away and end up killing himself much in the same way. How Calvin's death then affects his brother Sam, making him protective of his daughter, becoming worried and saying she'll have to remember him by the photos they take one day because he knows he'll be gone. There's a subtle sadness with each of the characters and how they deal with this curse that's afflicted their family, knowing that it will one day reach them. The final bit of foreshadowing that I can remember is seeing this totem pole early in the game being crashed down and eventually seeing it during a flashback sequence and knowing that it would be the death of the character we are currently playing because it was upright. Oh no, that's gonna fall on us. Each story is logical with its progression and placement in the order of telling. There was a feeling of solving an overarching story that can only be found in non-linear storytelling here. The notebook that Edith holds is used as a pause menu, but also shows you how much of the game you've finished as well. Here you can see the chronological order of the events and create a mental map of how it all fits together. This, along with the meaning and subtext here, shows the power of this game. Another aspect of how this game is powerful is how it ends each story. These endings hit hard. Very hard. This game does not pull any punches.
Bend down his head. And the rest I think you know.
With media like this, I find myself looking for a meaning. What did the creators want to say? What were their intentions? How did they want to make you feel? I know a lot of you are probably saying the message is that life is precious and you are to live in the moment and be happy. But I would say that's not giving the game a fair shake. Could we apply this lesson to the 1-year-old who died in a bathtub while his parents fought on the phone? Or previously mentioned Calvin, who just wanted to escape from his current life? Sure, life is shown to be fragile and therefore precious here. Yet there's a cold truth there as well, that life is not to be wasted by the fear of death. The two stories that exemplify this the most are Walter and Edith's mother, Dawn. Walter lives in constant fear throughout every day of his life in the bunker, until his time finally comes and he has wasted every day of his life eating peaches. Or Dawn, who tries to avoid the curse everywhere she can, even though it claims member after member of her family. These two stories act as cautionary tales and foils to both Edith and her great-grandmothers. Their stories are all about accepting the curse and living unafraid of it. That's what we all should strive to be, and I think that's what the game designers were trying to tell us here. This is just the message I received from the game, and everyone will have a different message that they come away with after a playthrough. In filmmaking, it's common knowledge to show and not tell, to treat your audience with respect, and Edith Finch does that beautifully. Nothing is spelled out for you. You don't have those "yeah, I get it" moments that happen so much in other games. Because of this, you're able to make your own connections that can vary differently from someone else's, even though the game is extremely linear. This comes about solely from looking at the environments in different ways. Usually, at this point, I would state some criticism about the game, but for Edith Finch, I don't have any. It knows exactly what it is. It doesn't try to be anything else, and generally achieves everything that it attempts. There isn't a lot of challenge in this game, but there shouldn't be. The walking sections are mundane when compared to the stories, but that's only to sell the scope of the stories. The player is guided, but that's to keep up pacing. Everything is meticulously designed for a specific reason. This game is a very well executed story, and to mirror what I said at the beginning, I think it's important. I know it's something that I'm going to be revisiting, thinking about, questioning, and adoring for years to come. You have absolutely got to play this game if you have not before, and it's free right now on Epic Games. Alright, 3 videos down. I'm really enjoying it. I'm using Adobe Premiere now, so hopefully it looks a little bit better. Anyways, if you want to follow me on Twitter, I'll tweet when I send new videos or go live streaming on Twitch. Also, if you want to like and subscribe, that stuff. If you don't want to, no worries. It'll help the channel grow. But anyways, let's see what the next video is. How in the fuck am I going to make a video on that shit? Well, see you in 2 weeks.